Nope, forget that.
Hey, it's Ghost with Combat Sports Supply. Today we're going to be going over the new line of 6mm ProShop spring-loaded frag grenades. If you've been looking for an affordable, easy-to-use grenade that functions well, these are going to be the way to go. They may have a few quirks, but they're very good. So as far as the series of grenades they've come out with, there's your baseball grenade, a pineapple grenade, and a stick grenade so far. These can apparently work for airsoft or gel blasters. They've come in 3 different colors. We have 2 of them here. This is the standard green, a training orange one, and then there's an all black one you can get. How do they work? For starters, this is what they look like when they've gone off. What is all this stuff? These are going to be your spring-loaded trays for your BBs. This is what actually throws them. And these are the latching doors that keep it all closed until you throw it. So how do we get from here to here? Pretty simple. Taking our complete grenade here, you pull your pin, throw it, and when it impacts, the spoon is now loose, pops open. One of the nicer things about these grenades is the fact that the spoon is physically attached to the grenade, so you're not going to lose that. The only thing you really got to keep track of is your pin. Well, now that your airsoft grenade's gone off, how do you put it back together so you can reload it? It's actually pretty simple. You push down on all your spring-loaded doors so that it's closed up. Close up the outer shell and it will latch in place. Closing it up, all the doors down. Click the outer doors into place. I mentioned earlier these can be a little finicky. What I meant was, sometimes when you're closing them, they don't want to close. You notice I just barely touched it and it popped back open. All of that has to do with this little pin in the top here. It can just get a little loose over time as you use them. And so once you've got it all put back together, how do you reload the BBs? Well, thankfully you don't have to have these open. It's just a turn cap in the bottom, and then you lift it out, and BBs will pour into the thing here. There's 3 holes for each of the doors. One thing I have learned after screwing around with these a little bit is you do not want to completely fill these up to the point where the BBs are all the way up at the fill holes, because it will start to impede the function of the grenade. And when I say don't overfill them, I mean the specs say don't use more than 130 BBs in them. The really nice part about these, they're all spring powered. It means I don't need gas, I don't need shot shell primers, I don't need any of that nonsense. It's just these. This is the entire thing. As far as what kind of BBs you should put in this, so far we've tested them with 2.0s, 2.5s, and 1.2s. The 1.2s honestly perform the best. The 2.0s perform okay. Don't go higher than that. The springs are good, they're not that good. As far as range on this thing, well, I mean, it's gonna be whatever your local field's range is for a grenade with an action, but the BBs themselves, with 1.2s, we found out they went 15 to 20-ish feet. With 2.0s, they were going 12 to 15 feet. Again, why I wouldn't really try a heavier BB in it. This is the little bit that's spring-loaded that makes these function and locks the doors in place. It will lift up. But that's how the whole thing functions. Now the issue is, when you go to throw these, since it's spring-loaded and the spring doesn't have a ton of tension in it, just so it actually goes off on softer ground, if you throw it in the wrong orientation, it will pop open on you. So if you're throwing it this way, it's going to pop when you go to throw it at any sort of distance. If you throw it this way, it tends to stay closed more, but that's one of the more finicky natures of these. Now realistically, this is probably going to wander off at some point. You could honestly use a cotter pin, a paper clip. There's all sorts of stuff you could put in here to, you know, have it be pinned. As far as my final thoughts on these, I mean, bang for your buck, as far as an airsoft grenade goes, you cannot beat these. They're spring-loaded, they don't require any extra stuff, just some BBs to throw in them. Yeah, fine, I might lose this over time. I may eventually lose this, but they don't cost that much to begin with, so, oh well, just get another one.
Don't be a fool!